Today I would like to talk about the EACT annual survey and the result. What are the main results of the 2025 annual EACT survey? EACT has launched its Treasury survey to determine top priorities for corporates. What are these top priorities? What are the Treasury trends and priorities over the coming 12 to 24 months? As expected, in this turbulent year, cash flow forecasting is number one. It leads the charts, followed by the long-term funding, number two. And finally, Treasury technology infrastructure review, replacement of existing IT tool. It's just a new TMS or an implementation of a TMS if you don't have TMS. It is followed by a few priorities at near equal levels, such as capital structure, number 4, market risk, i.e. risk management ethics, number 5, working capital management optimization, number 6, digitization of Treasury, let's say hyper-automation, number 7, and the political uncertainties, number 8. This year, change is significant. Fundamental and pure financial issues are back on the forefront of the Treasurer's priorities. Mitigating market and FX risk remain a key issue, as well as optimizing working capital. Cash flow forecasting is still high on the list of priorities. It can also be noted that treasurers are more focused on replacing or implementing a TRMS than on digitizing and hyper-automating cash management, the next steps requiring a certain level of digital maturity. The impact of new technologies should not be overestimated, as many treasurers are still struggling to improve and replace TMSs or bank communication tools. The return to the basics and foundation of our trade is by the uncertain, volatile and changing environment in which we operate. The real economy in Europe must diversify their source of financing. The ranking of capital structure is number 4, also showed that the recapitalization or capitalization of multinational companies is critical, and that maximizing WACC, weighted average cost of capital, should perhaps be reconsidered in favor of optimization in case of economic downturn or sudden sharp swings in interest rate. In terms of technological innovations, it appears that the priority will be quasi-equally placed on data analytics and switch to cloud solutions. It looks like treasurers have many other technical priorities before being able to use the newest technologies and AI. They may want to first fix current system around TMSs, enhance current IT architecture, hyper-automate processes further before using AI and Gen AI. To sum up, treasurers seem to be lucid about their ability to adopt these new technologies. The fragmentation of IT systems in Treasury and the complexity of IT architectures in many of the multinational companies' Treasury department explain the importance allocated to the risk of fraud, which has increased in recent years, and of cyber risk. Fragmentation increases this risk by a lack of fluidity, homogeneity, and sometimes consistency of the financial data to be processed. Furthermore, it is detrimental to the quality of future cash flow forecasts. The more IT solutions are in use, the more difficult it becomes to consolidate data and to allow systems to interact with each other or to exchange data. The more complex the IT setup of the Treasury, the more complicated the change will be or appear to be. Treasurers would like to change the IT organization, but sometimes do not dare to tackle the cliff that this represents. The question of the greatest challenge facing the treasurer is also interesting in understanding what treasurers will need to prioritize. It appears that the difficulties in standardizing processes. First one, difficulties in standardizing processes and enhancing internal controls, lack of budget, the lack of internal human resources, inaccurate cash flow forecasting are the main concerns of treasurers. Standardizing processes and internal control remain preliminary and necessary step to automation, improving the organization of the department, increasing efficiency, e.g. automatic reconciliation, straight-through processing, use of mass data, etc. The other challenges are the large number of bank accounts, and the difficulty in convincing the IT department and the CIOs of the value of Treasury projects. The quest for further digitalization and the hopes placed in new technologies and innovations are explained by the importance of combating the increasing risk of fraud, the need for strengthening internal controls by growing economic uncertainties, the need for more efficiency, and by a lack of sufficient human resources. The crisis has crystallized the need to digitize and accelerate the ongoing transformation. The challenge for treasurers comes not so from the change themselves, but from managing the continuing of changes and the co-occurrence and simultaneity of problems on the economic, financial, and regulatory sides. It is clear from the survey that there are still a long way to go to reach a level of mastery of new technologies, real-time operation management, reduction of inherent treasury risk. Despite the significant shift noticed during this recent crisis to digitize and automate treasury processes wherever possible, the survey demonstrates the need for taking treasury to the next level. You'll find more detail on EACT or ATAL website and the full result of this survey.